Under 2.6, we are going to understand combining transformation. And earlier on, we have understood what transformations are. And today, we are going to learn how to combine transformation. And you can use combinations of the following transformations of a function to sketch graphs of more complicated transformation. And we have known that if you have a function that is now x plus a, this one is a translation, this one is a translation of, this one is a translation or a translation by a vector that is minus a, 0. If you have a transformation that is of the nature, the function of x plus a, you can see there's a bracket here. A is inside the bracket, a is outside the bracket here. This is translation by 0a vector. Of course, it is important to know that if you have a transformation of function of ax, both of which are in the bracket, this one is a horizontal, this one is a horizontal stretch, this one is a horizontal stretch, of scale factor 1 over a. And if you happen to have a transformation of f, or rather f multiplied by afx rather, this one is of course a vertical stretch of scale factor a. Of course, you will see a few of some specific transformation like f negative x. This one is quite specific because it reflects fx in the y-axis. It reflects fx in the y-axis, and negative function of x, this one now again, it reflects the original function of x in the x-axis, Having said that, we have generally come up with our own way before of understanding all these. And as you see, we have summarized, or we have talked about, we have come up with our own way of understanding all these. All these can be summarized in just this small table that we have called Mayo. Mayo is our own way of understanding all these transformations. Remember, it is not official, but once you understand Mayo, it gives you a very quick way of remembering what transformation is all about. So we have minus a, 1 over a, we have a, we have a. And of course, we have t there, we have s there, we have v there, and we have h there. We sometimes talked about teachers should value holiness. Of course, that is how we should be able to remember it in this center. And once you are there, then you can interpret it anyhow. I will talk about this one to summarize all this. And one way you will know this one is if you talk about multiply or addition inside. Addition inside, this a means addition. This a means addition. the M means multiplication. I means inside. O means outside. T means translation. S means stretch. V means vertical. And of course, H means horizontal. So if I may attempt to explain this using this small table, I will get to the first one, and I can see our A is inside the bracket, and this A is added. Addition takes care of both plus or minus. It takes care of both plus or minus. You can see this A is added. So therefore, we're talking about addition inside the bracket. So addition inside. Addition inside means horizontal translation of negative A steps. It means horizontal translation of negative A steps, meaning that all x values you subtract A steps. And that is why you can already see if this is generally xy, you can see negative A is upon the x-axis. So horizontal translation of negative A steps. If I may come here and talk about there is A and it is added, but it is outside the bracket. So we are talking about addition outside. Addition outside means it's a vertical translation of A steps. Vertical translation of A steps. It means all y values you add A. And that is why in this particular summary we have translation by 0A. Only the y values are affected. And here we can already clearly, because it is hard to remember this, but it is very easy to remember this. So addition outside is a vertical translation of A steps. Now, if you look at, that is the second one. If you look at the third one is, you can see there is A inside the bracket, so there is something to do with inside, and there is multiplication because we have AX. It's now multiplied by X. So this one is multiplication inside. Multiplication inside, you can see multiplication inside is a horizontal stretch of scale factor 1 over A. And this is exactly what we have seen here. Horizontal stretch of scale factor 1 over A. What does that mean? Only the horizontal values or the x values are affected. And scale factor means we multiply. So the original x values, all of them, are going to be multiplied by 1 over A, which is our scale factor. So if our A was 2, then all x values are going to be multiplied by 1 over 2, which is a half, and then we will acquire our new values of x. That is multiplication inside. If you look at the fourth one, which is, there is A, of course it is multiplied, but it is outside the bracket. So there's a multiplication, yes, and it is outside the bracket. What are we talking about? Multiplication outside. Multiplication outside, it means vertical stretch of scale factor A. It means vertical stretch of scale factor A. It means all y values are multiplied by A. All y values are multiplied by A. So when you consider this, this one is just captured here, only that our A is now -1 here. And this one is captured in our part 4, only that our A is -1. So the same thing happens, but these are quite specific because this one reflects fx in the y-axis, and this one reflects fx in the x-axis. But it is not even important to remember this when you have this. You only consider your A to be -1 and of course effect by what our small table of Mayo is advising us. So when you cannot remember this, please learn this. It's very easy, it's very straightforward, and you will never go wrong. So with this, we will be able to tackle the examples that follow. All right?